Hey everyone, Voltas here, coming through your speakers, and today we've got another 1v1 matchup on Daybreak. This is part of the BenQ Clash. I think it's BenQ. This is a Korean tournament, I believe. I see a lot of Korean players with the BenQ logo on the side of them, so it sounds like this company is sponsoring players as well as creating tournaments. I know little to none about it. That's about all I know, but it is going to be 2 Korean players, so let's introduce those 2 said players. This is a Protoss versus Terran matchup, and in the lower left hand corner of Daybreak is, and his name is listed on here as Twilight FXO, but I have him listed as actually FXO Oz. So not sure if it's FXO. I'm pretty sure it's FXO Oz. So we're gonna go with Oz. It's nice and easy. It's 2 letters, and he's a Protoss player. I did look him up, and FXO Oz is a Protoss player. On the upper right hand corner, approximately the 2 o'clock on Daybreak, is our red Terran player, none other than MVP's Keen, also known as the Commander. I was wondering when I saw that if it was related to Commander Keen, which is actually, if you don't know a little video game history, was one of the first games produced by id Software, the legendary Doom, Quake, and now Rage company. One of my very favorite companies. I could go off on them alone, but we are watching StarCraft today, so we're gonna stick with StarCraft. It looks like our Terran player is setting up the standard single barracks. Doesn't have a gas down yet. He is working on his orbital command. We got a cybernetics core going down for our Protoss player. Nothing too unusual going on. Single gas coming up. Doesn't seem to be a lot of cheese or anything crazy going on here. You know, it's funny. I get myself all set up. I get myself all geared up. I have to push 30 million buttons and get things set up in order to really get a cast going, and I had an earlier replay between these 2 that was ranked by viewers as a little higher, and so I started replaying that one, and I was just getting into the introductions, and then I realized, oh my gosh, this replay is half done. And then I proceeded to watch FXO Oz do a hidden pylon, then following that with 2 hidden gateways inside Oz's base, and basically just decimated him. Now it does look like there's a little bit of a shenanigans going on here with an engineering bay, which will prevent our Protoss player from doing any kind of early expansion over here. This doesn't really, I guess the idea behind this is, since you've got 850 hit points on an engineering bay, and the cost of it is the highest hit points per cost ratio for a Terran. I think this was actually popularized in StarCraft 1, and we're still seeing a little of that in StarCraft 2. So it's a good way to at least slow up your opponent if you're pretty sure that they're putting down a second expansion. And then of course our Terran player used that little lull in any kind of push forward on the Protoss side to set up his expansion with the barracks, etc. Does look like we've got the Zelnaga tower that is being held by this Zealot. I think I missed a little SCV running in here, and it looks like he got just to the ramp. I'm not sure if he got up the ramp to see anything. He would just probably see a few gates, so it probably wouldn't be too telling right now. I think our Terran player can assume that our Protoss player is going to be putting down gates. Kind of a standard component of the Protoss army. That's like running Terran without Marines. And you know, all our Terran players love Marines. It's like a little damage to this barracks right here. These 2 stalkers must have poked in. Check things out. Both of these barracks are full, so I don't envision any kind of too crazy aggression on our Protoss player's part, but it does look like he is gearing up. He's got several sentries in play, and he's just now probably going to warp in another line of zealots. But I'm just afraid that Mr. Keen, Commander Keen, is going to be well suited to defend any kind of aggression from our Protoss player, Mr. Oz. Ozzy. Alright, so it does look like we do have another expansion for Oz, which is relatively quick. Oh, we do have a little bit of a push going in up here. Again, just kind of poking around. And that is holding the Terran in his base, but he is trying to push out with this nice little marine ball. He's going to take out that single zealot. This is a tricky little combat situation here with the smoke, and it does look like our Terran player was able to kind of bring in troops from behind and try to pull some kind of pincer maneuver on our Protoss player, but with some nicely placed shields, he was able to thwart any kind of squishing maneuver that would occur here. So yeah, it looks like our Protoss player is doing a good job of containing the Terran player, keeping him off the map, keeping him out of the know. I don't think our Terran player has any clue that the Protoss player has already put down a third base, which is now pretty much in full production. Our Terran player looks like he is muling a lot. He does have a Ghost Academy, so we should see some ghosts, maybe some nukes. I don't know. We got no nukes, so we don't have a factory, oddly enough, and you need a factory for nukes. And it looks like we've got a few Marines going down here. I think he is a little suspicious, trying to see if there is a third expansion. He has gone in the wrong direction, though, and will not see that third up in the 10 o'clock position. He's trying to get over there, and I think Oz is trying to prevent him, but he's coming from behind. He does have these troops right here, which should be able to stop most of it. Nice stutter step maneuver, kind of thwarting those guys. And yeah, well, hey, these Marines are going to get to see a lot more than I thought. Trying to kill a few probes, but actually just taking this guy down to 16 hit points. So for 4 Marines, got some decent scouting, and Protoss did push the whole Protoss ball back. So that's kind of leaving an opening. He's going to lose this forward pylon. It's not too bad of a deal. He's got this pylon over here, which isn't too far off. But he did lose that stance in front of Keen's base. And I'm sure he was enjoying having that, just keeping the Terran buckled down. Does look like interesting pylon placement. A couple pylons up here next to this expansion. Pylon over here. So it looks like he's efficiently using pylons to at least get an understanding of when and where the Terran player is going and if he's expanding. Stemmed up that Marine, got him the heck out of there because he saw that there was a zealot being spawned in. And then we've got a stalker coming in here, and I think that this Marine is going to get taken out. Does look like the Marine Marauder Ball has gone down here and destroyed those pylons. So Keen is doing a nice job cleaning up these observer pylons from our Protoss player. What kind of technology we got going? We got charge coming up for Protoss. We've got +1 armor and +1 shield, so it looks like we finally got 2 forges coming from our Protoss player. More Marines, Marauders, +1 attack coming for Terran. We are researching Psionic Storm, so it looks like he is anticipating a bio army, and it looks like this is pretty all-inish from our Terran player, bringing a lot of SCVs and a lot of Marines and Marauders, and he was able to destroy most of our Protoss army. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is really gonna work. Nice blink action, saving the last few of those But this is really it. And it looks like our Protoss player is kind of trying to build up an army big enough to deal with this Terran bio ball. Oh well, this actually might be it. I think that our Terran player had enough facilities and several bases, but this Marine Marauder ball is getting out of control. Now the probes are going in to act as a little bit of defense, somewhat of a peninsula maneuver from our Protoss player, but is he going to be able to permeate this huge Terran ball? Looks like he might have almost enough. Ghosts are sniping away. Got some kind of reinforcements coming in from the back, and it does look like our Protoss player will be able to hold off most of this. He did lose one of those forges. I'm not sure. I think he did get his upgrades in place, and that's pretty much it for the push from the Terran. And I think that was pretty all-in-ish. I'm not sure, but he put a lot of SCVs into that battle, and I think now that he finally realizes that our Protoss player is on 3 bases, he realizes he's a ticking time bomb. More SCVs going down, and the momentum of this bio SCV ball is slowly churning to a halt and being less and less effectual. And I don't think our Terran player, Commander Keen, has something to back this up. He's still on 2 bases, and his main base and his second base are running low on materials. He put a lot of SCVs into that battle. Oh, and I pushed maybe the wrong button? Oh, I don't know what I did there. Anyway, trying to find where our, I think it's R. Okay, so we do have 32 workers killed on the Terran side, and I guess 16 not too bad, being able to take at least 16 probes out. But still, that's quite the deficiency on our Terran player side. And then what is units? Alright, it looks like we've got 41 SCVs and 64 probes. So our Protoss player is definitely ahead. I think Commander Keen is just licking his wounds, trying to get his game together, but unfortunately our Protoss player is on a solid 3 bases. It's got his Zealots with a +1/+1, a few Immortals in the mix, and that bio ball is just not going to work anymore. We got Archons coming up. Not sure why he didn't use the Storms. I know he was researching Storms, but he does have Archons, which will be able to take a lot of damage. I don't like them being in the back. I think he could micro his army just a little bit better. I say that, but I can't do it that well either. I know when I get into a giant battle, I try to do the proper micro, and I understand where things should be, but it doesn't always pan out for me. It does look like he is spreading his his Protoss ball a little thin. Rush in from Zealots, and it does look like this is going to happen, and we do have Psionic Storms possibly coming down soon, and it doesn't even really matter. I'm surprised that he was turning those things into Archons. I would at least drop some Storms, but maybe they were not ready. But obviously Commander Keen realized that one of his last bio balls was going to get taken out and tapped out of the game. So an interesting setup. I'm not sure if this was this obviously was a multi-match, because I told you that there was some cheese from Oz earlier in a match I tried to play. But maybe I'll do some of the series, and maybe I'll even do that cheese matchup. It'll only take a few minutes, and it's kind of an interesting look into, the ability to keep your opponent off guard by throwing something like that at them. Anyway, interesting match, and thanks for watching. Oh, and don't forget, if you have any comments, any input, any help for me, go ahead and post it on this. And then if you do like what I'm doing, a thumbs up is appreciated. And if you really like what I'm doing, feel free to subscribe so that you get updates on when I'm publishing more. I'm a bit sporadic right now, but I can tell you with the holiday seasons, I might be cranking out a few replays. Anyway, thanks for watching.